would go this way.
That's what got my attention, honestly,
Yeah.
when I saw that video.
Yeah, it would just like shoot around, and there was different sizes too.
Yeah.
And then at one point they just looked like they were coming from the wall this way. One time when Connor was little, all day, Connor is her oldest son, and he's 14 now, so he was little. But all day I had been singing to him, A, B, C, D, E, because I was teaching him his alphabets. And I was like the whole day pretty much playing with him, singing it. And we went to bed that night, and he had like a little table thing, and it had a book that if you turned it, it would make a noise. It would sing a song or whatever. And in the middle of the night, it started singing A, B, C, D. Yeah, and my husband and I were like, and we were like, where's that coming from? And we ran into, which is the girls' room now, but it was our dining room, playroom for the kids. And there was that thing, and it was just going off. Like, didn't know what, why it was, there was no reason for it to go off. And then we've heard, the little round, clear plastic balls that kids play with, and they have little things on the inside of them. You could hear those rolling across the floor, just out of the blue, rolling across the floor at night. And so that's what I'm saying. We've heard things, seen things, and I've never, which makes me think that there's more than one thing in this house. Because I'm thinking if something's wanting Samantha, who was 3, to play with her, that must be something young.
Childlike.
Yeah, and then if Abby was talking with someone, it either that or can present itself as a child. I don't know. But I do know that I feel like there's more than one thing in this house.
So have y'all experienced anything here?
Oh,
Have y'all felt a little uneasy whenever y'all walk into a room or anything?
Do you really want me to get going on it?
Yes. Yes.
Where do I start?
What about what you saw?
Okay, I can tell that one.
Yeah.
My son and I were in bed, and I thought that he was asleep, but I was awake. And I'm afraid of the dark, so I don't sleep in the dark. So I had my light at the time is a ceiling fan that can be a night light, basically. So I could see perfectly in my room. But I was trying to sleep too, but I opened my eyes, and my son's toys on the ceiling is a transformer fire truck. And so it can go from a fire truck to like a robot looking thing.
Yeah.
And it was on the ceiling, and it was moving around, and it was transforming like back and forth, and it was driving when it was the car, but then it just dropped to the floor. And I didn't want to believe that I saw that, so I just closed my eyes and I went to bed.
Yeah.
And but then my son, he was already downstairs in the morning at the table. I think y'all were feeding him something. And then I sit down, and Connor, my son, how old was he at the time? I can't remember. He was young.
Yeah, he was young.
Yeah, he was like maybe 3 or 4, I don't know. And he said that his toy was moving on the ceiling last night, and then I knew that it really was real. Like, I really wasn't.
You weren't just dreaming because your son's alive.
Yeah. And then I said, well, what did it do? And he described what I saw. Like, that it didn't just drive, it was transforming. And, so then I asked my mom, and I didn't ask my mom, I told my mom, because I was freaked out. I told her about it. And then she said, that toy is outside. Because she goes out early in the mornings to do yard crap, because she loves doing that stuff. And it was outside. And so then it was just even more confusing to me.
I found the toy outside.
Yeah. And she was like, no, for real. And then she brought it in. Yeah. And I was like really confused at that point. So that's one of the things. that same room, same kind of thing. I was laying in bed with my son, and I was sleeping on the edge of the bed with my back towards the edge, towards the room.
Yeah.
And then I started to hear like this weird like old timey music, and then I felt a cold breath hit the back of my neck, and at the same time something squeezed my leg.
Get out of there. I don't feel afraid of it. That's what I'm saying. I feel like I'm bigger than it is. That's the only way I can describe my feeling about it. Yeah, you know, you might be mean and you might be tough, but I'm bigger than you. I'm
And that's always a good attitude.
yeah, yeah.
I know.
We have things in here for protection. Let's take them out.
Maybe it'll tell
Its
you.
name. Does it have a name?
Do you have a name? Do you have a name?
Put it on that cross, because that's where the red light came in.
What was that?
I know. What'd it say?
It said something.
I blessed that cross before she didn't hung it, so like I told her to take it off. Because that's the wall it was lighting up.
Do you have a name? That was something, right? What is your name?
What was the thing you, was it your phone that popped up Elena?
Yes.
That was weird.
That would like to communicate with us tonight. I have these dowsing rods right in front of me. If you can cross them to let us know that you're in here, we'd really appreciate that. There you go. Just cross them.
I'm crossing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Thank you for that. If you are a bad spirit, can you make those dowsing rods touch my shoulders?
Mm-hmm.
Can you make them touch my shoulders? All the way. Okay.
I was looking over there. I thought I saw something walking around in there with these on. I wasn't sure entirely.
What does it look like when you're looking through those?
Yeah.
What's it look like?
What's it look like?
It's like blue, like everything. When I look at Eli, it's like really blue.
If you're here to do us any evil, cross the rods. Are you here to hurt Charlie? Are you here to hurt Charlie?
Is it pointing toward me?
See, they're not even pushing down for me now. They were for you.
It was so. It's like I was trying to hold them as gently as I
Yeah,
could.
because they're very light.
But they wouldn't.
Yeah, they're very light.
Okay, go ahead and hold it.
But when I was
Go
holding them, they were
straight. Should be a
very like
spirit
magnets.
box
They're
that's
like
inviting.
magnets.
Could you point with the dowsing rods to anybody in this room with us right now that you want?
Can you point it where you're at in the room if you're here?
Yeah, well, that's a lie, because you ain't in me. I know that much. Shit. Oh, yeah, that's more like it. Go back to him.
Me and you now. Look. You and me.
Can you show us where you are right now? Could you give us a sign? Make a noise?
I'm gonna ask you something. If you're a bad spirit, can you cross those?
Ask us something, maybe.
Do you think we're a bunch of crazy fools? Did you put that toy on my ceiling? Cross the rods if you put that toy on my ceiling.
Something like touched me. Yeah, something like grabbed my ear.
Is this your house? If it is, cross the rods. Is this your house?
Can you make a noise for us? Can you knock something over for us?
Make something happen. Knock something over in the room. Knock it over.
Hey.
It's crossing.
If you're the devil, uncross those.
It's tapping them together.
That is so weird. It's like pushing on them, right?
Yeah, it's tapping them together.
What was that? Did you hear that? That's not the van.
It's them tapping.
Oh yeah, I see.
I heard something other than that.
I want you to leave this house. I want you to leave the house.
I'm kind of nauseous.
Will you leave the house? Cross the rods if you'll leave this house.
Can you stop yelling at it, please? Because something's happening to me.
Well, I'm yelling at it because I'm being Cross the rods if you will leave.
It's weird. I get that same electricity
Me
feeling in
too.
my body from that other house.
Me.
What does it feel like to you?
Like a headache.
But as far as the energy
kind of
goes,
like nausea.
Present, do you feel like it's demonic? Is it you know?
It's weird because right after you asked it if it was playing with the toy, that's when you started feeling more.
Yeah. Do you feel a
It's
sense
more
of evil? I
intense.
guess that's what I'm trying to get
I
at.
don't feel good. Now my ears kind of hurt.
Yeah, your ears are getting really red.
Yeah, they are. Bothered and stuff.
If you don't like me, cross the rods.
There you go. Wow.
I don't like you either.
And she wants you out.
I want you out of my house. Will you leave?
Out of here.
It's my house. Will you leave? You ready?
A very uneasy feeling right now.
You want to step out?
No, I'll be alright for now.
If you want to stay, cross the rods. If you want to stay in this house, cross the rods.
What's that? You didn't get it?
No, it's him whispering.
I didn't do that. Definitely wasn't me.
Did you make that? Well, it was mad at me. So I want to make known. I make it known. Did you make that mic stand fall? Cross the rod. Cross the rods if you did.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.